Welcome to Oz's Online Gym. Today I'm going to show you how to make these protein brownies slash protein bars, depending on how you cut them, how you let them set. It'll be just basically whatever you want. I will show you, I'll basically show you what I put in mind most of the time, and you can make adjustments as needed. First, protein powder, any brand, depending on the amount you want. 1 to 2 scoops. I'll put 1.5. Next, depending on the flavors you like too, I will put, this is a creatine bucket, but it's actually cocoa powder. I'll put 2 tablespoons worth. Coconut flour. Super easy and fast. I'm going to eyeball it. So this is what we have so far. So this is a maybe 3 to 4 tablespoons in here. Next ingredient you have to be careful about is psyllium husk. If you put too much, it is going to really fill you up, which is not a bad thing, but it is going to increase your urge to use the toilet later. So be careful with it. So I'm going to put maybe 1 tablespoon in the whole thing. And I've noticed psyllium husk not only keeps you full physically in your stomach, but mentally too. So if I make ones with maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk around 10 o'clock, until 2-3 in the afternoon, I'm not hungry. Mentally, that's the biggest thing too, because I've noticed I can be full, my stomach can be full, I could be like, oh, I'm dying, I ate too much, but mentally I may still be wanting more food. Not in this case. For some reason, when psyllium husk fills me up, mentally I'm full too. So if you are trying to lose weight, that may be a good option. Some extra things I'm going to add there. Pumpkin pie spice, why not? I always forget, don't forget your sweetener. To taste. I'll put some sugar-free syrup. And final important ingredient, egg whites. All of these I'm not really measuring, so I can't tell you the exact macros you need. If I were dieting right now, obviously I'd be measuring every single thing, every single gram of everything. Right now I'm not, so maybe I'm a month or 2 out from dieting. So right now I'm basically eating decent without going crazy. Baking powder. Again, eyeballing it. Maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons. This is completely optional. To this you can add PB Fit, actual peanut butter. I have some coconut oil, so I'll add a little bit of the coconut oil. That was maybe half a tablespoon. I'll add a little bit of the PB Fit, and I'm gonna mix it. So what I'm going to do in the end, if you look here, I have a microwavable plate with wax paper on it, and I sprayed some non-stick spray on it. I will microwave this for about 3 to 4 minutes, depending on the power of your microwave. So This is 1,000 watts. Excuse me. This is 1,000 watts, so I'll reduce the strength to about 80-85%. I don't think it goes to 85, but 80% for 3 minutes. And then depending on what it looks like afterwards, I can just do regular 30-second increments at 100%. I want it a little bit more liquidy, so I'm going to just add water. You can add coffee. You can add almond milk. Water, simple enough. And if you have the time, just for a different texture, you can bake it in the oven 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Just pour it into one of these or any other oven safe tray or cookie sheet you have. If you have one of these, you can also pour some in these molds, put them in the microwave to make it more like protein bars. Actually, let's do a little bit of that too. So maybe something like that. So this is what the mold is, so halfway. I'm going to put this in the microwave for about, since it's a small batch, I'll do 2 minutes on high. And while this is going on, I'm going to pour the rest of this onto this plate with the wax paper. The reason I'm using the wax paper is so it doesn't stick. So I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit more on this plate. Distribute it a little bit more evenly. So this is after 2 minutes. So that's pretty decent consistency. What you can do is just take it out, and I'll always do that. Put it in the freezer. There you go. So we'll just wait for that to set, and while that's going on, I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 3 minutes at 80% initially. So as I'm waiting, what I've done is I have this cutting board and I put it in the freezer to cool it off. When this is ready, I'm going to pick it up from the plate, put it over here. Then you can either put in the fridge or in the freezer. If you put in the freezer, you can actually freeze it, so when you want to eat it, it's a little bit more solid, more crunchy. If you're gonna take it with you, let me fix this camera. But if you're gonna take it with you in the morning, let's say you're gonna eat it around 9-10 o'clock, you're leaving the house at 7-8, you take it with you, whether it's frozen or in the fridge, doesn't really matter because it's gonna start melting anyway. So either way, the consistency is pretty similar, the texture is very similar. It's just if you put in the freezer, you'll be able to eat it faster because it's gonna cool off faster. So I haven't made a video for about 6 months now, maybe even longer, because I was basically, when you live in a condo, you have to deal with assholes running your HOA, so that's what's been happening. So I didn't really have the joy or motivation to make anything. This one, my colleague really loved these, and she's usually very picky about what she eats, so I was gonna make a recipe or send her the recipe. Instead, I just want to make the video, but that's why I haven't been really making anything. So it's ready now. Let me take it out of the microwave. It is gonna be hot. So this is what we have. I'm gonna get that cutting board, which has been in the freezer. Lift this up, put it over here, put it in the freezer or the fridge, depending on where you want it. And that's it. So actually you can look at The ones we put in the freezer a few minutes ago, they're already cooling down. That's what it looks like when it comes out of here. Let me show you the texture. There you go.